Hi. Okay. Hello, everybody. We have Charlie Day here today with us, and she is the co-founder of Phonics with Robot Reg, and she also has the Entrepreneurs Growth Club as well. And she's going to tell us about her history of teaching.
Hi.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We have Charlie Day here today, and she is the co-founder of.
Sorry.
What's happening there? Is that you? I will just close my Facebook too. So, I love that.
That'll be amazing. No.
Okay, and she's also so she also does the Entrepreneurs Growth Club, and that's a membership site, isn't it?
Yes. So, the Entrepreneurs Growth Club in itself is just a Facebook group in the same way that your just a Facebook group, but I do also have a membership and courses and all sorts of other things to help people grow and scale their business and make more sales. That's what I'm all about, creating more sales in your business.
Super. So can you tell us about your history of teaching?
Yes. So, like I was saying just before I came on, I wasn't a traditional teacher. My sister was. We run Phonics with Robot Reg together, and now we have 50 franchisees running across the UK and Australia, and they are all teachers. That's sort of their background, teachers or teaching assistants, or just generally from that world. So I'm surrounded by teachers, but I actually came at this from a completely different angle. So I went to theatre school when I was 16. I left my tiny village in the middle of the Peak District to go to theatre school. I convinced my parents that this was a good idea. I was the youngest of 4 children, so I think they were just ready to go and do whatever you want to do.
Do what you want.
But when I left theatre school, I was like, oh my gosh, this life is not for me. Like that sort of auditioning and never knowing where your next pound's coming from. It just wasn't what I wanted. And I realized that really, really quickly. So I did various different things, as you do when you're trying to be an actress. And eventually I set up my own party business, so like birthday entertainment, which I absolutely loved, but obviously the work was just like weekends and like kids' holidays, so it wasn't. I needed something a bit more substantial, so I set up my own theatre school back in 2011. I was 22. Set up my own theatre school, didn't have a clue what I was doing. But it gave me loads and loads of opportunities. So I taught in an independent school for 3 years. I taught drama there. I've taught in loads of schools across Essex. I've done things like cover. I've done the Lambda exams for schools, all of that sort of thing. And I absolutely loved it. I loved it. And there was a point in my life where I was doing birthday parties at the weekends, theatre school during the week, theatre school in the holidays. And I absolutely loved it. And basically what happened, both my sisters are teachers, my mum's a teacher, my auntie's a teacher. I've been surrounded by teachers. And my sister, she was a teacher. She was an EYFS specialist. And teaching was her absolute vocation. She loved, and she had a little boy, and she had to go back full time when her little boy was 6 months old. And she just, the whole of her maternity leave was like, I'm going back to teaching. Absolutely fine. I've loved teaching. That is what I do. My little boy's going to go to nursery. And then when it came to actually going back to teaching full time, she really, really struggled, and realized that she was seeing other people's children more than she was seeing her child. And the flexibility to do things like, I think it's things that we might take for granted, like, there's a little Mother's Day afternoon tea at nursery, which really you don't care about going to, but that's your first experience as a mother. That's your child having like an afternoon tea thing, which is probably something and nothing, but to you it's massive. It's huge, and she only needed to miss out on a few of those things before it became a massive thing. And like she would say, I could go to the head teacher and say, can I have the morning off to go to a Mother's Day? I don't feel like I can, but I should be able to. And it's just crazy. And so when she fell pregnant with her second child 18 months later, she said to me, I can't do it. I just can't do it again. I need to find something else. And because of my background, I was like, well, that's fine.
Let's go and do it.
What I've learned about teachers is they're massively risk averse. So it was like, I can't think of anything to do. Like I've got all these skills, but I can't think what I can do with them. And then, so that was just a conversation that we had. And one night we were having a glass of wine, and she said to me, it's really funny that there's so many preschool toddler classes. And this is 5 years ago that we had this conversation.
Okay. Yeah,
She said, but there's nothing educational. There's nothing that sort of...
No, there wasn't.
There wasn't. And I was like, well, let's do it then. Let's have fun with that idea. And so literally within 2 weeks, because I already had this client basis at my theatre school, I just said, write some lesson plans, and let's get out there. And so I would teach them in my like performing
cool.
And she wrote them, and she watched how the children responded to them, and the feedback we got immediately was
wow.
And we realized that it really filled a gap in the market. But we were sort of on a race to needing her income to be replaced by this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was very much like, if we're doing this, it needs to like work properly.
This
is not just like a little thing. So
it's not a hobby.
At that time, I was doing the parties at the weekend. I was doing the theatre school after school. I was doing the phonics during the day. And 3 months in, I found out that I was pregnant.
Oh no!
So we were like, oh, okay. So actually, like at the time, it was quite like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Have we done the right thing? But it forced us to franchise the business really quickly. In a year, we franchised the business.
Wow.
And the rest is history. We've got 50 franchises running across the UK, and in Australia as well. We've got some back in 2019 we launched our classes in Australia, and now my sister's little boy is 8. She's got a 6-year-old. I've got a 4-year-old. And literally, we have not missed out on a sports day, activity.
Oh, doesn't that feel good? You haven't got to ask anybody, can I have time off?
Exactly. And the thing is as well, Alex will even say now, my sister, she says to me, I'm so grateful that I get to do the school run. And it makes me laugh. Because so many people are like, bloody school run. And she absolutely loves it. So I feel like that was a very long answer to the question.
No, that's great. Oh my goodness, fantastic picture of your journey. I just love it. So, you have come from something small and it has escalated. Now, would you like to tell us how you managed to escalate that and introduce Lisa Johnson to our, not literally introduce her. Let's talk about Lisa Johnson and her boot camp she's got coming up. So what did she do for you from going on her course? Yeah,
so the one element that I haven't spoken about yet, I mean, all of the things that I've done so far. So my theatre school still exists. I don't run it anymore, but it still exists. It's still out there for everybody else. And obviously,
fantastic.
Reg is all across the UK and in Australia now. And at the beginning of last year, I had a new goal, which was to help other business owners grow and scale and make more sales. I'm absolutely passionate about business, as you can probably tell. Everybody I meet who runs a business, I'm like, tell me more. Oh my God.
No, I'm getting like that. I've just discovered, like, last year and a half online business. And I'm like, I get thirsty for it, and like somebody's got an idea, and I'm like, right, let's talk about this. Let's really plan this out. I just love it.
I set up the Entrepreneurs Growth Club, which was a Facebook group to help people grow and scale. I've helped loads of people franchise their business. So I set that up. On March the 2nd in 2020, I was like, right, this is it. And then 2 weeks later, we found ourselves in a national lockdown. So things changed very quickly. And I remember in the first week, I had 250 people join up to the Entrepreneurs Growth Club, and the whole group was exactly what I wanted it to be. And we were all bouncing off each other and spreading each other's successes and doing all of those things. But I had no idea how to make that into a business.
Oh, I see.
So
Lisa Johnson came in for that side, but not for Robot Reg.
No.
Oh no, it was just,
didn't even know who she was.
Right. This was for your extra idea of wow. I see. Brilliant.
So,
Okay.
So this time last year, I did a challenge called Race to Recurring Revenue with Lisa Johnson. I very tentatively stepped into the group. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I know children's activities. I've built 3 children's activities from the ground up. Absolutely love that world.
Yeah.
This world, I was like, oh my God, I'm not techie in the least. So I was nervous. But she sort of opened my eyes to a whole new world, a whole new way of growing and scaling a business. And so I did her challenge. I went up to sign on to her course, One to Many, and I've never done any one-to-one. So it wasn't like I needed to go from one-to-one to one-to-many.
Yeah.
I actually started with the one-to-many approach, which I think is why it's so successful. So I did that course. I set up my membership to help other small business owners create more sales in their business. I've got 2 masterminds that I run to really work closely with people to franchise, to license their business, to grow their business. And I've got some courses as well. And all of that part of my business, everything under the Entrepreneurs Growth Club, is down to Lisa Johnson, the work that I do. And I've got my own podcast called the Entrepreneurs Growth Club podcast. I put out a podcast yesterday. Me and Lisa were chatting on the podcast, and over the last 12 months, I've taken £100,000 just off of that part of the business.
Oh my goodness!
I said to her, ultimately, it is my side hustle. Phonics with Robot Reg is what I'm passionate about doing. We're actually adding a new franchise element in September to that, which is going to be maths oriented. So we're going to have the phonics thing, we're going to have the maths thing. So the Entrepreneurs Growth Club is really a passion project for me. It's just a bit of fun. And I've ended up taking £100,000 worth of profit just in that. And I've now got 6,000. I know, 6,000 people in my community.
Wow.
And so this time I'm partnering with Lisa Johnson to tell everybody who will listen to me how amazing it is. Because honestly, I've been saying to people this last week, it's changed my business and it's changed my life, which sounds really dramatic, but it really has. So
How about the money? Let's talk about the money issue, because I personally feel with teachers, we're quite protective over our money. It goes out, it comes in, and we're always used to getting paid on that day of that month. And then we decide to leave teaching. We feel, a little bit unsure about what we can spend our money on. And I feel that we don't have the mindset as teachers to invest in ourselves and spend the money to sort of propel ourselves forward. Can you talk to us about how you decided to did you have that mindset at all? Or were you just, I'm doing it?
It's interesting for me that teachers would have that mindset, because as a teacher, I know it's not your money that you're spending, but you're always been pushed forward to learn new things and learn the latest things, and all of that and also as a teacher, that is what we're teaching our kids, right? You want to learn to grow. I read every single day I'm learning something new, and that is why I'm taking my business forward all of the time. So I read, I listen to podcasts, I do courses, I go to seminars, I invest in mentors. All of that stuff is really, really important. I think there's a tipping point, and some teachers that I work with feel like they always need to be doing a course.
Right. Okay.
And I like to pull people back from that and go, there is a point when you go, I now know enough. I now know enough to make my business amazing. You don't always need to be spending thousands of pounds on something, because you will never earn the money. But if you want to get your business to the next level, you're going to have to do some work to get there. Absolutely going to have to do the work to get there. And you're probably going to need some support.
Exactly. Wow. Could you tell us a tiny bit about the boot camp? It might be a while since you've done the boot camp. Can you tell us perhaps who would it suit? So we've got quite a few teachers in the group who they have these ideas and they don't know what to do with these ideas of how to make it into a business. I've got a lovely lady in the group, and she's got a fantastic business idea, which I feel started to take momentum before lockdown and COVID. And now she's a bit of a, should I say, quivering wreck. She's not quite sure what to do next in terms of branding and elevating her business. Now, can you tell us how Lisa Johnson could help her?
Yeah, absolutely. So the 5-day challenge is exactly where everyone should start if they're thinking about creating reoccurring revenue, which is what we're talking about. You know, that safety of teaching, that money coming in each month. Well, you can create that outside of teaching. You just need to work hard to create that recurring revenue coming in each month. And I was actually, just before I came on here, watching Lisa's welcome video, and she said that she regularly has people who do the challenge, who go away from that free 5-day challenge to make £5,000, £10,000 month.
Oh wow!
So you know, it is
exciting.
Exactly. I would just say to everybody and anybody to do it, because there are options out there available. And on my podcast as well, she was saying that her first experience of passive income was she was taking her twins to Disneyland when they were preschoolers. And she found this guide online that was like a guide to taking preschoolers to Disneyland. And she was like, oh, brilliant. Like everything you need to know, £47. So she downloaded it and she said it was brilliant, really helped her like plan her time in Disneyland. And so she messaged the woman afterwards and was like, oh, it's really interesting you do that, because I'm really interested in passive income. And the woman was like, I literally make thousands of pounds each year just off of that one guide. So she had loads of different guides and just because if you think about it, you could spend like £10,000 going to Disneyland, an extra £47 to help you plan out your, so it's not necessarily, you know, like mine was quite linear in that I had the Entrepreneurs Growth Club and then I went to set up these things to help small business owners. But I know people who've done all sorts of different things. There's one lady who's got a membership for people to buy theatre tickets off, and she like finds the cheapest theatre tickets, and you can be part of that. And if you look at the world, there's so many like Hello Fresh, and it's the way forward, because people want that recurring revenue. But what the challenge is going to help you do is help you form those ideas, help you get those ideas, and help you realize how you can make those ideas a reality. Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting. I can't wait actually to log on and be in that boot camp. I already do fabulous foundations with Lisa Johnson. So I feel I kind of know her way and her manner and everything. It's just lovely. And she's so thirsty for people to succeed and to know everything that she knows. And I think she's a great lady. So thank you very much, Charlie. It has been absolutely wonderful for you to come into the group today. And underneath this video, as people will watch it, we will put all the links that will help them to find Lisa Johnson's boot camp, and also your podcast you're talking about. Can we have a link with that as well?
Yeah, and I'll put a link into the Entrepreneurs Growth Club as well for anyone who wants to.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I'm beginning to freeze a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.